Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me on this first ever episode of the ACG Social Mixer Show and Tell Summer Series. So I'm Rosa Vasquez, and I will be your host for this summer series event. So just to give you a little bit of background about that before I introduce my first guest and a few. So ACG stands for Anime, Comic, and Gaming Social Mixers. So what it is, it's a platform and a space. It used to, last year was a physical space before COVID happened. And it's a space for anyone in the anime, comic, and gaming genre who is a creative, an artist, a performer, a cosplayer, to promote themselves, network with others that are on the same platform, maybe in different platforms, and just to collaborate and connect, create some new ideas, especially those who are local artists and local creatives and communities, such as where I was starting them in the Bronx and looking to branch out to other local communities. So why am I doing this? So I thought it was, like I said, just a space for everyone to join together and to share a little bit about themselves, what they're doing. And there'll be 10 different artists, creatives, and sharing a little bit about themselves, what they do. And so it'll be, first half will be about, hey, how's everybody doing? I was tuning in live. I also have this on my Instagram TV as well. So if you missed this or you know anyone that wanted to check this out, any local creatives, anyone that's anime, comic, and gaming, they could go to my Instagram TV page and check out this first episode as well. So this, like I said, there'll be 10 different personalities here sharing a little bit about themselves for like the first half of the show, and then the next half will be the show and tell part, where they'll be showing us what they do, and also a little bit of conversation happening between them, myself, and also you, the audience. So don't feel free, don't be shy to like ask questions to the local artists that come on here, performers, anything when it comes to that genre that you want to know about. Because the reason I made it like this with Instagram Live on this platform is it's a great way to keep that social mixer aspect, which I wanted to keep that as a way to generate leads and promotion, and a way for the audience to have that mix and mingle feeling as well. So this is the first piloted episode, and we'll check how that works out as well. But before I introduce my guest again, just want to let you know that this experience and this whole summer series is sponsored by Nerd Life Geek Life's Instagram page. So follow their page. They're all things related to geek and nerd culture, news, merchandise, and conventions. So don't forget to check out their page. It's nerdlife_geek life. And thank them so much for sponsoring these 10 summer series. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining in. So I'm going to try to connect our first guest and introduce him as well. I'll give you a few seconds here. Hey, what's up, A? Thank you for joining me. Okay, so let's see how I can do this. All right, waiting for...
Hey, you see me?
I see you.
Finally. Ed, what's up?
So, Ed, hey.
We had no idea we had to do this through phone. We thought it would be computer, like accessible.
No, yeah, Instagram is all through the phone, and I guess for now, if something happens. But now I'm glad you guys joined. I just was chatting a bit about what the show is and what I plan to do with it, and just the sponsors. But thanks for joining me and everyone else who's the audience. So just want to jump right into it if you guys are cool with that.
Oh,
yeah. All right. So
we're trying to do a social distant version. Obviously, it didn't work. We're trying to make the whole world believe we're in two separate places. It just didn't work.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool. I'm glad you guys could make it happen. I appreciate it. So I just want to introduce you all to my first guest on this pilot episode of the Anime, Comic, and Game Social Mixer Summer Series Show and Tell. Here we have Gary Camp and Ed Mouzon. So Gary Camp is the writer, artist, and co-publisher of Creative One Comics, and Ed Mouzon is also another co-publisher of Creative One Comics as well. So I thank you both for joining me in this as well, in the first episode. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
How are you?
I mean, I'm seeing
Great.
Ed in the background with a mask. I'm like, am I gonna get robbed? He's gonna stick up. Do you need a gun? You know?
Yeah, this is gonna be like, it's gonna be like this the whole summer. Who knows how long it's gonna be like this? But I just want to jump right into it and just thank you guys for, this opportunity to do this, and want to just reach out to local communities and also comic artists as well. But just to get started, like, I just want to know, how did you both meet, and like, how did you both, you're in the indie comic industry as well, like, so how did those two things come about?
I give you the short version, and then Ed's gonna add.
Sure.
Well, when you start adding to it, you can remove the bad. You scare everybody. It's scaring me. I mean,
I'm just as my captain.
We started this thing. We met up back in the days, comic store in Manhattan called Forbidden Planet. It's still there, but we met in the old one. I used to work there, and then he came in, and then we hit it off, and then it just happened that we both live in the Bronx, same neighborhood, and then from there we decided to create like a little studio, and then we have a lot of artists work with us. Now they're big time fine artists, but we decided to throw guns and just do comic books, and we never stopped. So we met at least maybe it was 1993, so we probably know
92,
93. So we know each other for like, and our first official comic book at the prop man was Mile Orchard. So that was the first.
Yes,
But we put that out in 91. No, sorry, 2001. Or 2003.
Actually, we have something that predates.
And then something that predates is this book. That book we put it out like in late 1999. So a lot of the stuff that we were doing Ashcan, small little convention. We were doing the Big Apple Con. We were doing all these shows, and then we hooked up with Winston Blakely. Used to work for Valiant Comics. See, Ed used to work for Ken Landgraf, a guy who does comic books back in the 90s. And then I used to work for Winston Blakely. He used to work for Rich Booker's studio. So, the guy who created Death Block, I was there moonlighting and helping him out with his comic books. So in the late 90s, we were doing comic books, but the industry was different than it is now. We were moonlighting, or we would just work. Ed was getting paid. I was working for free. So, and then I decided, hey, let's create this studio called Creator One Comics. Let's put it together. His studio was called ED Yang, and mine was Creator One Graphics, so we became one. And from there, it just became what it is now. So we've been going strong for 25 or even longer, and we have a lot of people. His brother, my brother, part of the team, and then we have a bunch of artists. And then we got all the titles. Let me show you all the titles that we work with. Right now, we work with Bronx natives. So we got we've been putting out Mile Orchard, the Bronx Native edition. And then we have
and then you show me that one. That one is good. It's really dope.
Another Bronx Native triple threat, and then I co-published stuff with my older brother. He put out this cool comic book called Brothers in Space, and then he has another one. So I mean, we have a little history. A couple of years ago, we were putting out stuff under a different title, which was called Bronx Heroes. So we did that like between 2005, from 2008 to 2010, and then we just stopped doing it. So we parted ways, and now Bronx was an actual comic convention yearly in the Bronx, and then we do ours, which is Teens and Trailblazers at the Bronx Museum. So which we invited you recently to attend on December. So we still have the convention organizer buzz in us, but I'm not trying to be an organizer like I thought I wanted to be. I want to be more of a publisher, artist, writer, and that's enough hats to wear than I need to. So that's a whole relationship from beginning to end, and then Ed could add to it. Everything Gary said.
Yeah.
No,
nah, it's good.
No. Basically, from my point, working like collaboratively, I was working with my brother, in my house, and I'm like, nobody likes comics like we do. Can I find somebody, in the Bronx that goes with me while I'm sitting on my dining room table? That's where we first used to meet. Sitting my dining room table drawing every night. I'm like, I'll never find anybody to draw with. So I found Gary, like you said, downtown in Forbidden Planet, and he lived 2.5 blocks away from me. So
wow, I tell you, it's that small world.
Yeah, I was on Elder Avenue. He was on Manor. So I was like, we're doing this. And then, you know, we brought our people together. It's all about collaboration. That's why it's Creative One. It's all for one, one for all, like the Three Musketeers. So that's our motto. The motto is collaboration. That's why we have a lot of people working with us and continue to grow. I don't even know the numbers anymore, how many people. Changes every day. Depends on how many days I quit.
Nah, that's good stuff. I love to hear like the beginning stories, especially pre-internet and no internet, and like how people met up in those towns.
Yeah. I mean, we had no internet. It was like pick up the phone, call the person, or go to their house.
Yeah, I had no computer.
There was no FaceTime.
No,
he had the computer. I had no computer. I mean, you understand that?
No, first I didn't have a computer.
Oh, true. But I mean, but when I met him, I had no idea what was a Mac or PC. I learned that very late in the game, like 97. He already was there. So I learned how to use all this software, and we never looked back. So now all the comics are done strictly on the computer. I mean, I draw it by hand. I still haven't moved up to the tablet to draw the stuff in tablet. A lot of people love doing that, but I'm old school. But we do most of our coloring and lettering and production on actual Photoshop and Illustrator or online. So, and then and that anime manga studio software, I forgot the name. Manga Studio. So we use that also for some of our creative partners. So, but also I forgot to show you that we have another collaboration with Mass Media. This is a book that we put the Modern Noche Vampires pages inside a while back. So, that's the book is out there also. And then we were for years, for a long time, we were the backbone for Winston Blakely, who happens to be an African-American comic artist from Valiant Comics, and he created Little Miss Strange. So his creation is a character that was like one of the first black female vampire characters, a black female sorceress character. So we published all his books. We were like, if no one's gonna publish your book, we will. And then we published a calendar, and this calendar is old, like 1999, but we still work with him. He does all our coloring. Nice. There you go. So he does all our coloring, and then the last and the best one is this controversial book. No, but this book is very controversial. We did this project. Can you see it? I don't know. Can you see it?
What's it called? I see a little bit of it. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, so that book created a lot of issues. And I didn't realize it because it seems like if you put something that has a social justice theme to it, a lot of these crazy alt-right guys will come at it. We were just doing like, hey, we're going to kick some Nazis' ass. Captain America did it, so why can't the BX do it? And inside the book, there's a page. If you flip to the book, you're going to see if you flip it, Ed's flipping the book, this keep on, right there, the pages, the last page. You're going to see our characters busting some Nazis' ass. And I didn't realize that would create issues. I was like, this is a fun story, But that book...
What year was that?
No, we did it last year. Ben Ferrari, he puts out a comic book in California called Pilot Studios. This guy's an amazing guy, but, he was getting death threats and people were just threatening him. It's crazy that I did...
This day and age,
Yeah. Breitbart made a big issue because it was... And then whatchamacallit, not Indiegogo, the other crowdfunding. What's the other crowdfunding company? In Brooklyn. Oh my God, Kickstarter. They had. It was just a big hoopla. I had no idea all this happened, but it was great because all the hype. Basically, he did a Kickstarter and it generated income like $5,000, $6,000. He was able to do it twice or three issues of them. So he ran with that, and he's a good friend of mine. The guy's amazing, and and it sucks that. There's some crazy people in this country that if they feel that if you're doing something that's not in their, according to their ways, they want to just go at you. It goes both ways, but we censorship, but we going after Nazis. What's the big deal? Like I guess that for some people it's a big deal. So it's just funny. But these are the projects we've been doing along with the conventions and the events. So. That's
right. So I wanted to jump into that about, the comic book scene and the events and stuff. So I wanted to know, even before COVID happened, I know there's been an ups and down with the comic book industry market and just how the events and things have been working out. What shifts have you seen from when you started out in the 90s to going into the new millennium and then especially with COVID? Like, What do you think is going on with that, the comic industry?
The floor is yours.
Well, the thing about COVID, well, now we are doing this, you know, and as educators, we got used to doing this. You're at home, so right now we're working on our projects. I think it gives an opportunity for artists. Artists are very highlighted. If you watch the news every morning or every night, I'll see 2 or 3 artists T-shirt designer this morning. Someone else who painted a mural downtown. Art is being very highlighted in this environment because we have a time to do and express ourselves. So that's basically what we're doing, and we're ready for this online thing. Even though I don't have an Instagram, doing things like this, I'm ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
After these 2-3 months, now I'm like, no problem. Before COVID, I was like, I'm not doing Instagram. I'm not doing.
He's getting an Instagram account.
It's the time. It's the time to do it. I hear you. Oh, we lost him. Hold on. Let me see if I get back on. This is the age of the internet. Let's see. If you get connection, no connection. All right, let me see if I can get it back on.
Just left.
Oh,
We just
got you.
It just stopped.
It's okay. It happens. We live. It's good.
Not getting an account.
But I gotta add to it that before anything, my phone's gonna die, so can I get a cable? This is so live, like.
It's all good.
Need a cable to.
I just, this is to be like, nice and chillax kind of vibe. I didn't want anything too serious or too like, like formal, especially with COVID, how everything's up in the air. Like, let's just do this and just feel vibes and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being with me in this.
But I'm in the process of hooking up this thing to the computer so I can get some juice on this phone. All right, so
Okay.
what I was going to add to what Ed said was that, even before the whole COVID thing, the way we were doing with the comic books, we were using like Bronx Native Store to distribute our books, and we were doing the comic convention circuit in the Bronx and all throughout New York City. And those were our way to get the books out because we don't have proper distribution. We don't deal with Diamond. And the irony is that Diamond, after the COVID, decided to drop both major Marvel and DC.
Right.
And
yeah, I heard about that. I was kind of.
So I mean, they have a monopoly they control, but they never want. They could care less about us indie. So it doesn't matter for me. It doesn't matter. What's happened in the big industry doesn't matter to us. We so off the radar, so we so left field, but we more underground. We don't want to be underground. We want to be overground, but it's just like it's really hard. That's why I work with people like the, True School, Closing Gear, Bronx Native. Anybody who's willing to promote. We've done shows at Bronx Brewery, Bronx Community College. I mean, Jacob Jarvis. Those are the big ones. The Reed Pop, who run an organization. We used to do workshops with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we work with Bronx Create also. We used to do workshops with them. We work with a lot of people. We both educators. But the thing is, we decided with this whole, pandemic thing and being working from home to reset and just focus everything online. The future is online when it comes to making money and promoting your product. So comicology, we got to pursue it harder. And then we got to do the fact that Ed's going to get an Instagram, that's like, wow.
Instagram.
That's
went
amazing.
When I said it, and Instagram stopped. So
Ed, did you have a face page at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So, that's how we're at. Mi gente, how about that? Anybody out there? So,
yeah, that's old.
We old, man. But the thing is, like, I'm on everything. So, I think it's good. I think in that aspect, this whole thing that you have to stay home and focus and reevaluate your life and your purpose and also reset what you're doing. And I'm an introvert and I'm a little bit antisocial. I'm always at home. I don't want to hear no trains. I don't want to hear no drama, no crazy loud music. I'm 50 years old, so I'm pretty much that old grumpy guy. All I want to do is create art and be able to share with people, And, sometimes the city never sleeps into distraction. So now that everything is dead, and even it's coming back, it's clarity for me. I know it sucks that it took this crazy pandemic that killed 100,000 people.
I read an article about it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I just read an article about this month. Article about how, Gary said he's antisocial. The article stated that.
Oh, lost you guys again. Give me a sec. I wonder if they're, let's see, get them back on.
Yeah, well, what I was saying is that article said
Got you.
that, you know, intelligent people are gravitated towards urban areas where there's a lot of people, but they like to be isolated because they don't have the need to socialize as much. And I was like, you know something? That's me. I mean, I am social, but it didn't bother me to be home working every day. You know, I did miss people and things like that, but like Gary said, you know, my neighborhood's a little quieter, but I was like, all right, I got work to do. I can do my work because I'm not going the commute and all this other stuff, which doesn't bother me. But I'm like, I don't have a problem with this. You know, just everybody's being safe. Told me to stay home. I'm home, and I can be creative. I think it's more for a problem when you're not creative minded and you don't know what to do with yourself and you're stuck home.
No, yeah, that's true. I think it's just definitely the time of the ambivert or introvert person to like really, or anyone that's an extrovert, just to really find themselves and find what their creative outlet is for them and do that soul searching and to work on that even more, like pick up that passion you wanted to do, or even take a break, you know, like definitely find what it is you need to do, even if it's nothing, you know, it might help out. But I wanted to go into the next question about you said you're a teaching artist. So tell me a little bit about the workshops and things you've done with C1Comics in that platform with workshops and teaching artists.
Well, we were doing, a couple of years ago, we were doing workshops at the Javits, at the Reed Pop Show, the big convention. So Ed was doing the creation station, and he could elaborate on that.
Hi, I'm back.
The Repop is the Funko, right? They do the Funko Pops and other things, don't they?
Pop is the organization that runs the Jacob Javits Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, they're the organization that does that and the book con. They do several other shows, but I applied to do a comic-based workshop at Reed Pop, and I'm like, they don't know me because I just do on-the-fly workshops all the time. And we got in the first time we applied, and we were the last workshop of the convention on Sunday, the last day at 3 p.m. The last workshop. And I'm standing there with my brother. My brother and I do it, and we had to turn people away because the kids come in with their parents, and they gave us a little hot room, and people were sitting on the floor in the back, and I'm like, at first I was like, nobody's going to show up. They don't know who I am. I'm Captain Creative, made up a new character and whatever, and it was standing room only. Like, they had to turn people away. Like, older people wanted to get in, like, sorry, this is for kids. Hopefully we'll be back next year and things like that. And then we did it for 3 years, and every time our room was packed, and people loved what we're doing. Because my brother and I, we used to do like we worked with youth groups and things like that, and I used to have workshops in my house when I was 17, 18, right around the time when I met Gary. Everything was at my dining room table, so I had an open door policy, and the kids would come in, create characters. We do storytelling and things like that. I really didn't know how to do a comic yet. I was more an illustrator and a writer. And I really, with the help meeting Gary, I got into comics. So I did everything else but comics. And then I just said, oh, I can storytell and do what I want with a comic. I go, this is the medium for me. And I've never turned back since then. I said, this is the medium where I can do anything I want.
All right. Yeah, definitely. If you found that passion for you, and then you engage young people that are interested in it as well, especially those in, local areas such as the Bronx, that there's not a big network of, creatives to go to and reach out. Even though the Bronx is the place that comics started, it's funny that we don't have those spaces.
Yeah, in the Soundview area, I went door to door with one. I went door to door around the time with Gary, looking for other comic book artists in the Bronx.
Wow.
And a couple of them said yes, but a lot of times they didn't, like, they wanted to join Marvel and DC, and I'm like, all right, you can, you can do that if you want, but if you have your own character, like, not a lot of them had their own characters, They thought they were going to get into Marvel and DC and make their own X-Men and throw Stan Lee out. I'm like, I don't know if you're going to do that. That's like a corporation. I was like, but if you want to, have your own original characters, you can come to my house and you can draw and things like that. So I really was I mean, it didn't last for long, but I actually went door to door looking for artists in the Bronx because that was before.
That's determination. No, that's good.
You had beepers. They didn't have, what we have now.
The beepers, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's how far.
Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, definitely. Oh man, that's some good times.
I was working and they were like in a company and they were like, "Oh, you have the Ethernet. They just invented it yesterday. We're going to give you an email address." We're like, "What are you talking about?" And I worked in computers.
Yeah.
So I remember when this all started, it was like, okay, I can send you a message. Okay.
But I was going to add that right now. We were going to do some workshop over the summer working for Bronx Create, which is like a studio for artists. It's like what's
rental.
Rental. They rent space for artists. So they wanted us. We worked out a deal that we're going to go there and teach illustration and animation, whatever, any type of art with our team. But then now we have to rework it. So the two Dans that runs it, a good friend of mine, they want us to actually do it sometime probably in August, but do it digitally. So me being an educator, I said we've been starting home schooling, not homeschooling, remote learning since the past 4 months. So prior to the pandemic, was already doing it. So the Board of Education, the DOE, that's the path they want to go. So it's easy, So now we just got to learn how to monetize this, when it comes to the workshop, because not all the artists want to do it for free. Like me and Ed, we got a regular job, but these guys are full-time artists. So I'm still negotiating how to do it, but everybody's looking forward to actually, see us teach some class, some sort. Hey, I'm gonna teach graphic design. That's what I teach, Photoshop. So Ed's gonna teach cartooning, illustration, and we have other members who are actually gonna do stuff. So that's what we're gonna be doing in the next 2 months. I mean, I'm not gonna be working. Ed is gonna be working, but we're gonna be, and we were supposed to be doing that event with you, the Tokyo Bronx event, but it just got shot.
Yeah.
But it's gonna transform into something different now.
The robots are in my house.
Yeah.
Exactly. So right now good, then we can do that. But for right now, everything we're doing is basically remote learning or just doing it online. And we're probably gonna be doing a couple shows with Bronx Native because he's still doing his store just open, so people can go out there and support him. And actually, Ed, the shirt.
The new shirt.
That's our new shirt. If you can see it, I don't know if you can see it.
That's the C1Comics new shirt. You have to create, innovate, illustrate.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I'm not a good camera. Ed, you gotta come to the camera, I guess. There you go.
I can see it. Now it looks good.
So
No, it looks good. So those are definitely some great shirts.
we got one for you. It's waiting. So it just whenever we meet next.
Definitely. I love to promote the apparel.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I wanted to talk a little bit about other comic book products you want to promote, and the floor is yours, and also a little bit more about the Spotlight, because you mentioned that in your bio, so I want to know a little bit more about the Spotlight.
So the Spotlight, and that I had with a character called the Weatherman, who has an organization that's pretty Cablevision, like he's a media mogul.
Donald Trump.
He kind of spotlight, and he has these characters on, kind of almost making fun of him. He's kind of messing with him, but he's making fun of the fact that people have powers. But we're using it as a vehicle to show the origin stories of these characters. So they're basically on the show, and it's funny the way we drew it. A lot of shows they're like one-on-one, and you don't see the audience, so it kind of looks like a Zoom video. In fact, one of them I'm going to change into a Zoom interview, so that it's more current. So there's going to be 2 different versions of the book.
Oh wow, that sounds good. That sounds great. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Actually, yeah.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, it keeps freezing though.
Okay.
Have pages. You want to see some of the pages?
Yes, we're jumping right into that next. So we're jumping into the show and tell segment at this time. So you guys got 15 minutes to share a little bit about anything you want to show us in regards to C1Comics.
Yeah.
And also for the audience who's tuning in, thank you so much. You could catch this later on Instagram TV. But now if you're here live in the social mixer piece of it and the show and tell, they're going to be showing us anything they like in regards to Creative One Comics. And if you have any questions, you can put them in the comment box below. We'll answer them as we're going through this show and tell segment. So go ahead, guys.
So we're actually looking for the actual portfolio. I mean, he's going through a whole bunch of them. Let me see. No, keep on. Ed, you're getting closer. You're getting closer. Stuff. He's like finding it. All right, so here you go. So I think here we have these pages, what exactly Ed was talking about, and then I guess, yeah. So you can hold it from, and we got it. Here you go. So this is
okay.
This is one of the characters. Is it working? Do you see it right there?
Yep, I see it.
See, this is all right. I guess this is. I'm the worst cameraman in the universe.
Oh no, you can leave the camera vertical. We can see it. I mean, it's like vertical.
So here, so as you can see, he's acting. And then the second page.
Okay, so this is from what Ed was talking about, the spotlight with the weatherman.
That's what he's talking about. And then
okay.
And then this is the interview with the vampire characters.
Yeah.
Right? So he's like, "Are you really a vampire?" To catch up.
You know, so we're gonna get the project done, possibly by September. Before we were gonna do everything for the Javits show, for the big New York City Comic Con show. But now we don't that show's gonna happen. I mean, they invited us. We got a table there, but I'm just saying that why would I want to do a show if we still?
Well, right now it's canceled. So.
Well, it's not really canceled.
I don't think they said anything yet, right? Did they say anything for it?
They haven't said. In fact, they offered me a table. How about that? So, it's,
okay.
I guess they're desperate, But I mean, do I want fans to be out there? I mean, it depends. Let's see. If they have a vaccine.
Well, the good thing about the show is that we're behind the table. So if there's two people behind the table, you do have a distance from everybody. So when you go eat, it's like
no, it's like you're not gonna handshake nobody.
Right.
I mean, but it still defeats the purpose of being in the show. Because the whole point is to be interactive and meet the people.
And also, they invite everyone from the earth on there. It's the most crowded show.
And I love the show. I mean, it's the best thing in New York City. I mean, and major, independent, whatever. I mean, we didn't do it last year because last year we were not invited. But it doesn't matter. It's like I still go to enjoy it, man. But as far as indie, we do the shows. There's a lot of indie shows in New York City. There's Schaumburg and the Black Comic Show in Brooklyn. So you don't need. Do
you know of any shows happening in your local area and in the Bronx?
Nothing is happening. Everything is canceled.
Not right now.
Nothing. Absolutely. I mean, we had the Bronx Brewery. We had
Rosa's show right now.
Oh yeah.
This is what's happening.
Yeah, your show. Supposed to be your show. We're supposed to be doing a show at the point. 2 square miles.
Yeah, this is whether or not they allow any show.
We had our own show, the Teen and Trailblazer show with the Bronx Museum that we were going to do.
Yes, that was great.
Yeah, we were going to do a summer version of it, but then they contacted me recently and they want me to do it in December, but I don't know, it's just kind of weird that the environment that we in, to actually be out there. I mean, I just got to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I think we're all at that waiting phase to see what's going to happen, what's the next steps to take at this point. But like you said, it's also a time to create and come up with those ideas.
I mean, I just hope some of your viewers and people listening that, if you are artistic, you get creative vision. Unfortunately, sometimes in bad situation, you got to take advantage. You got to work with what you got. I mean, me and Ed grew up in an era like it was just horrible. It's just South Bronx, it was just bad. Every day, at least for me, was just horrible. I didn't have fun growing up in the PJs, crack era, Reagan, all that crap. Bronx. I mean, I was young. I didn't know any better, but I would not. And kids have it so much better now. They have more security. People listen to them. they have a voice. As you can see now that they're actually, you know, saying something. But back then it was like suppressed. Everything was suppressed. So it was a different era. So, you know, now I'm just saying that if you don't have all that weight like we did, and we still created art, you know, that's how hip hop came about, and you know, and that's how we created our own graffiti, whatever. We did it. I did it all. Like, it didn't matter. I mean, I think that's the difference between my generation and we had no excuse. We just just do it. Stop whining. Stop complaining. Just go out there and do it. And I guess they're doing that now. They really can't just sit down and just do nothing. You got to go out there and speak your mind and not necessarily protest, but it's just do whatever you feel that is going to help you get to the next level as far as an artist.
So going into that, so any young people that are into the comic, you know, indie industry or just comics in general now, because I know you as teachers, I'm sure you have young people who come to you and say that they want to be in some kind of comic industry. What do you tell them now in this, you know, whole era?
Anybody who, we have two people that work with us that started as students from either his school, my school, or we met them at the convention. They were teenagers. Now, you know, they work with us, so we kind of help them teach one, reach one, the next generation, and then just groom them so they could just actually learn how to do what we do, but then do it better. You know, that's sometimes you need the next gen. You got to pass down what you have. I'm 50. Hopefully, I should be doing this so like I'm 100. But I'm just saying that, you know, we always trying to get somebody younger than us actually, because when you get older, like in our age in art, you get set in your ways. You don't want to. We at grow, but most artists are they're set, and if they are not, then they're still growing, but still. They know what they want. When you get young artists learning and you learning how to hone the craft and you're growing, and that's the most important thing. So any young artists out there watching this thing, just do it. Just stop. Like actually, you're in a room, so stop talking about, oh, I don't got to wait a platform. No, you lying because you have the internet. Internet's something that we didn't have. We had to go out there, hit the and put the stuff out. Nowadays, you don't need to do none of that nonsense. All you got to do is just simply put it online, and voila. Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media platform, you become the next superstar. And it's great. That's what I love about nowadays, that anybody can just do it. I mean, but then there's a danger with that because not everybody's talented. But it doesn't matter. Every era had that, you know.
Yeah, in my experience, I know students that like are doing webtoons on their own. Like, there's a lot of creative kids out there. They're doing. And they do come to you and they're like, oh, they listen like the way that you do storytelling, or if they don't have the right, or I know some kids are writing books, they're online, they're doing some incredible stuff. Not necessarily basically what we're doing. So what I try to show them is just the basics of storytelling, how you put a story together, character development, because you know sometimes they go too fast. Yeah, they got the Instagram up, they're doing all this craziness, and I look at it, I go, it's not exactly polished. You don't really have. Do you have a plot? You go, oh, I don't write down anything. So I kind of try to help them, you know, with that. And some of them have it all together. You know, there's a lot of kids that have it all together. I have students that did animated movies that everybody's watching on Disney Max right now, and he taught everything himself. I don't know anything about animation other than things move. But he had a comic while he was in school. With me, he did every year, and at first he didn't know Photoshop. I taught him Photoshop. He taught himself. He taught himself this, and he kept going it. So, what I'm trying to say is that even if I don't know something, if you have the passion for it, like I'm doing comics, nobody can stop you. Like nobody can stop me from getting the back of a. I used to draw on the back of flyers that my mother gave me. I still have them. They say 1977. Yeah, I am the ancient one. 1977 picnic, and I used to draw on the back of them. And my mother just would give me more. I would find any little scrap of paper, and I would draw it. You can't stop me. The virus couldn't stop me. Nothing's going to stop me. I was in the hospital. My eye, for my eye when I was 14, I drew pictures all over the wall. I couldn't see. I was drawing pictures of Spider-Man and all this stuff all over the wall because I was like, if I'm going to go blind, then I'm going to go out drawing.
The mindset. You have that good mindset. That's right. Oh, wow. Tell me a little bit about this one.
The project that I've been working on for like forever, and it's called like Back in the Day. and I was trying to like make a biography of my life growing up in the South Bronx, you know, and every detail, but it's like beyond difficult. But then 3 months ago, when this whole thing started, I was home and I was like inspired, and I was like, let me just draw these giant portraits, these characters of myself looking at the train, looking at the housing project, playing basketball with my brothers. So what I did, I did like maybe 10 pieces of these things. So now I'm gonna put it together in a book, and I'm gonna sell it with the Bronx Native store. And he saw this stuff, he loved it. He's like, you know, so all I got, it's just giant images and portraits. It's a slice of life of my life back like from 1980 to like 1985, and I'm just illustrating what I saw back in those days. That's what it's called, back in the days, with the at the end. But it's just like a project that I always had in my mind for years. And I never was able to actually get it off the ground because I was so busy with other projects. But this is like my personal project. It's something like I had to draw it, color it. Like, I mean, if you look at it, you know, I actually, you know, did gray tones. I never do none of this stuff. I'm always thinking about doing it. But I was so busy this year with my school, my new job, being a graphic design teacher, and then grading, all the other good stuff that me and Ed love to do, you know.
Oh, yeah,
so I'm just,
I know, as educators.
Yeah, we're teaching and we're working from home. This is the best. We got the best gig ever. You know, Ed is gonna start doing learning, and I love it, man. You know, it's like it just helps me to focus more on me being a working artist and doing my stuff on the side. Right now, we're doing murals. We got 2 different murals. We're doing one Bronx Native, and then we're doing another one DOE. So they're both gonna be positive theme message, you know, murals. So it just I haven't painted like that for like almost like 20 years. It's just like I say this whole period now is reset. It's like yourself. Like, remember we sat down at one point and said, you gotta do your show. And I logo and I did all this stuff. Like, you gotta do it, Rosa. You gotta do this. You know? So,
you just remind me, one of the things that inspired me in this environment, the first couple is like putting on the mask. When I put the mask on, I'm my character. My character wears all black with this mask. So I'm looking at everybody and I'm like, everybody's Batman. Everybody's a superhero walking around. And it's funny, my neighbor didn't even recognize me. I'm like, hi. He's like, who are you? I'm like, oh, I'm wearing a mask. So that like inspires me every time when I'm walking around. I'm like, I'm basically my character walking around, patrolling the Bronx, which is what he does. And I'm like, so I'm constantly in my head, I'm working on my stuff. I go, this is a story. And we're going to incorporate, like Gary said, we're going to incorporate this stuff into what we're doing.
Yeah, you see that one? This is basically my older brother in the rooftop back in the days looking at trains. Let's see, my older brother's right there. There you go. That's my older brother.
A 4-line, probably think. That's Burnside line.
And then it just came top of my head. We used to go to the rooftop in the housing project and look at trains. It was with this 5 trains, 3rd Avenue. We live in Melrose Project, so you can see the trains coming down from the tunnel. And then it just like that scene is always burned in my brain. Like every day, to this day, I got the train. The reason you don't hear them now is I close the window. Like I phase them out. Like I just, you know, I live with the sound, but the images are burned in my mind. So now I said to myself, I got the project out. So that's what you're gonna be seeing. You're gonna see more personalized story. Ed has his Black Might, and I have my Back in the Day series. So it's just like, you know, we're gonna try to do a little bit of everything. So hopefully when this whole thing is over, we're gonna be able to be in a lit bar. We're gonna be able to be at Bronx Brewery, be at the Bronx Native Store. So we're trying to rep the BX as hard as possible. And also, what's the spot over there in Hunts Point? The Boogie Down Cafe. You know, so we want to support all local businesses. And, you know, because they're hurting now, but you know, they were hurting before the pandemic, and now this thing just makes things even worse. And then the riot, everything made it worse. It's just like perfect storm for just like bad. But then when I see Amaury with Bronx Native and he has his new things, you know, that gives you hope. Like, hey, you know, and he's the young generation. He's the future. We a bunch of old farts here, man. We old, man. You know, but he's we take it to
it's finding that collaboration to, you know, speaking of collaboration, you know, that mindset to collaborate.
I'm like Ben Gay time. Amaury is like
Gary's the young one.
Yeah, I'm the young one. Yeah, I'm 50 years old. Don't ask him how he is. Yeah. But we have members who are as old as 65 years old. That's Winston Blakely. I'm shouting him out right now. You know, Luis Sierra. We have a whole bunch of. You seen our crew, man. You know, these guys.
Yes.
But we still have young members, and that's the new young members is Sean. You know, this guy is amazing. You know, he's a new artist that we got. He does a lot of cool stuff. So, you know, we got him, and then we have who else we got? Dwayne Johnson. You know, no, that's right. Yeah, Dwayne Velasquez. Oh my God, you met Dwayne before. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, he replaced me. He was me. I was supposed to be in that event. What was it at the bar? What was it?
At the Gun Hill Tavern.
Mm-hmm. The Tavern. I was at the Boogie Down Cafe.
I was there.
But I was trying to do two shows at the same time. I was with Noel, you know, and then he was.
Okay.
We were like, we're gonna split the team. That's why it's great to have a team, because when you have a collective, and Dwayne did a great job. He spoke in ways that I never even thought about.
And we got Johnny.
We got Johnny. Also.
That was a great podcast. Thanks to Panic Bros. That was a great podcast they did.
And Ed was modest enough to just give him the floor, and I said, Ed, just give him the floor, and Ed did it. You know, and then, you know, at one I was like, damn, that could be me. I could have been there getting an interview. But I said to myself, you know something? I don't want to hear myself talking. He's the one who drew the comic book Soul Thunder, and he's like, you know, so, you know, wherever you are, you know, I haven't spoken to this before since the pandemic. I got to send him a shout out. But we were supposed to do a lot of stuff. It hurts that for the past 3 months, we had to completely reevaluate what we're doing with comics.
Yeah, everyone had to complete 180.
It can be 180. So now I kind of more sure what to do, but it's still, you know, I can't my path, which is just create the product, create the content, and don't let bullshit get in your way at all. I mean, life's gonna throw so many wrenches at you. It's unreal. So I don't stop. Me personally, I don't stop until my heart stops. Then I have to stop. Otherwise, I'm gonna
definitely that BX mindset we gotta have. So I want to just talk about my last question is, you know, just my business being collaboration and collaborative conscious, and you all do collaboration as well with C1Comics. And I have a shirt here just to say welcome to the Bronx shirt you guys have here. So the last question I have before we tune out is, how do you envision collaboration for C1Comics?
Here you go, Ed. That's for you.
You guys are kind of doing it already, you know. So.
It's I don't know, that to me that's my virus. Like, I always want to collaborate, whatever, and other people don't get, you know, the hint of it. So it's really like what you said. What I can give to the next generation is not Photoshop, not even Instagram. It's really collaboration. The fact that a lot of people feel like, especially like this environment, you feel like you're by yourself and you're on your own. I got an interview. You're not by yourself. And even if not, no, you're over there. We're virtually connecting with each other. You can collaborate. You see musicians, you know, 20 of them doing a piece together on their Zoom and things like that. So collaboration, you see it every day now. And we have to keep it going and keep it positive and do our creativity, honestly. And we really, we're getting closer and closer every day. It actually feels great to see what people are doing. And I knew they could do it before that, but they always wanted to do it by themselves. And now, since they were by themselves, they were forced to collaborate. But remember the lessons that you learned with that. Collaboration was always there and always will be.
I mean,
yes, thank you guys so much. So just wanted to say, I know you're adding all those tags. So I also have the Instagram and Facebook. So the places they can find you, that will be in the Instagram TV link below.